Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks. I'm not going to lie. I've been craving this for at least a few days now, and I'm super excited that I finally get to eat it. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? It happens to be my Don the Dragon Wilson Traditions shirt. Yay, that's Don the Dragon Wilson. If you're unfamiliar with Don the Dragon Wilson, the fuck have you been? The guy is like one of the most iconic kickboxers of really the entire sport. He came up, I believe he started, I want to say he might have, maybe late 70s, but I think it was more like 80s and 90s were more sort of his heyday. But the guy was like an 11-time world kickboxing champion. Just absolute badass. I actually became aware of him through his films because eventually he went on and he started doing film work and stuff. Particularly the Blood Fist series, which is a Bloodsport knockoff series. But I love so much more than Bloodsport, although I like Bloodsport too. But yeah, I got into his stuff through that because like I love, martial arts films and stuff. And I love Don the Dragon Wilson's work. And on top of that, he just seems like a really good dude, He's like, never really hear anything bad about the guy. But anyway, if you happen to be interested in Don the Dragon Wilson, let me know. We can chat about it. But anyway, what am I trying for today, folks? What are we doing here? Why am I so excited? Well, folks, that's because a few days ago, I was doing a review, and I started talking about Chinese food, and, I was, like, making a similar comparison to something that I was, whatever I was reviewing. I don't even remember anymore. And, man, it just got my brain rolling. And I've been wanting Chinese food ever since, but it was like, I wanted to wait until the weekend. That's usually when I go out and, get my nicer items and stuff. And so I did. And it happens to be, boom! But what is this? Now, if you watch my channel, you might know that typically when I go over there and I review stuff from a Chinese restaurant, my go-to menu item is sesame chicken. But we're going a little bit fancier because this is, boom, sesame beef. And it happens to be from a local spot called China House. And I like China House. They are one of my go-to Chinese food place spots. And I've been meaning to get in a review for them anyway, and this was just the perfect opportunity. So let's get a thing for a thing. Oh, by the way, what with them being a local establishment, they are going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just local spots. Let's get the thing for the thing, and we'll sort of, maybe like something like that, and we'll do it like this. We'll go, ha 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 ha. Let's give it a go, man. Yeah, sesame beef, a little bit more expensive than the chicken, but damn it, I'm worth it. Really nice and tasty. Nice and tender. Sauce is nice. And it's not like overly heavy. Sometimes you'll get like sesame chicken or, beef or what have you. And the sauce itself, again, a little bit claggy. Not the case with this. It's nice. It's got that nice sort of, because like sesame chicken, like it has such a unique flavor. It's kind of in a vein of something along the lines of like a General Tso's, but different just in its own way. But it still has sort of like a somewhat sweet, somewhat savory kind of vibe. Come to Brandon. one's putting up too much of a fight. There we go, there we go. I will say this. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I do have a couple of gripes. The first and foremost, I'm kind of realizing now that with the exception of a certain amount of textural elements to it, once you go over there and you put the sesame, seasoning and sauce and everything on it, it's really kind of hard pressed to tell the difference between chicken and beef or what have you. And to be fair, like I did a review for some sesame chicken from a place called Ming Chef, which is a little bit higher end place, and their sesame chicken, pretty much the best sesame chicken I've had. It definitely, the chicken flavor really stood out. With this, there's a nice meatiness to it, but if I wasn't thinking about it too much, like I said, the only thing that's different is like the chicken, of course, would have a little bit firmer structure to it. But yeah, I think realistically, next time around, I would probably just go over there, save a couple bucks, go in for the chicken instead of the beef. Like, it's nice to have it as an option, but I just think, again, in this format, yeah, the beef itself isn't really being allowed to properly showcase its beefiness. But it's still good. The other thing I will say, it is good, but it's not quite as good as I've had from some of the other places that I've reviewed. Like, there's nothing bad about it, but I do just feel like it's lacking a little oomph of character, Like, it's perfectly fine. There's, again, absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I feel just like, I don't know. I'm struggling to find something to hold on to really kind of make me say, okay, this is, some stuff, it's good, but yeah, just not quite as good as I would normally hope. But the beef itself is nice. And again, nothing wrong with it, but it's just a little bit middle of the road, which is a shame. All right, well, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I hate to do this because I love local spots, and I really like China House. Like, I genuinely think they're a really nice spot, and I've ordered from them plenty of times in the past, though it has been a little while. I have to say no and no. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the dish, but again, it's literally a combination of the factors that I brought up. One is that between the chicken and the beef, I think realistically, like, you're not getting a huge amount of flavor difference, and if anything, the textural element of the chicken, I probably would say, is a little bit more favorable. So I might as well save a couple bucks, get the sesame chicken. And then there's just the fact that, again, it's like, I know China House has good stuff, because, again, I have ordered from them any number of times in the past, and I like what they do. But yeah, I just feel like this particular one, it didn't wow me the way I was hoping, Like I said, I like to use, the sesame stuff as kind of a good base, because it's like, it's a safe bet. You probably had it before, and it's just something you can kind of call back to without a lot of issues. And again, while there's nothing wrong with it, just not that impressive, unfortunately. And if I'm recommending it, there's better stuff on China House's menu, Like I said, if you're looking for a sesame dish, I would go for the sesame shrimp, or if I'm not mistaken, I believe they have sesame shrimp as well. So maybe something for that. But yeah, that sucks because I like this place, but I got to be honest with you folks, right? 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly, I always hate when I have to, be not as positive in my local reviews. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, I can't, man. I hate going over there. And, they're really nice people and stuff. They literally gave me a couple of free sodas when I got my order and everything. They're not a bad spot. And, and again, this isn't bad, but it just, it hurts. I always like to support local places and stuff like that. And I always love it when they really bring out the best in me. But, we got one more dish to go as far as reviewing from China House is concerned. So tune in for that one.